I think his judgment was probably right. I think the most likely outcome is that there is an overall Conservative majority. The chances of Corbyn winning are close to zero. But there is a significant possibility that we may finish up with no overall majority, which could then open the way to a referendum on the Brexit issue.
You've been very vocal already about believing that the focus on revoking Article 50 perhaps wasn't the smartest policy platform for the Lib Dems to focus on at this point. Do you think that explains why, when we look at the YouGov polling, they say 23% of those who voted Lib Dem at the last election are now undecided, and that would suggest that maybe the support for the Lib Dems coming into this election is a lot weaker than it should be because Article 50 was the main policy platform?
I think that was, as I've used the phrase, an unhelpful distraction, but actually what we're really campaigning for is to be a substantial block of MPs so that we're in a position to go back to the public with the people's vote. The revocation stuff was only a hypothetical possibility if we won the election outright, which was not going to happen, and certainly isn't going to happen now. So, but I think actually people have used that as an excuse for reverting to what this election has become, which has become Corbyn v Johnson, and I think large numbers of people find the Corbyn option so utterly unpalatable they're going for the lesser of two evils, and it is an evil, and I'm afraid, you know, if they do win, we're in for a very difficult ride. The Brexit issue isn't going to get resolved, and that's the great lie of the election.
Given what you've said about the unpalatable choices and the personalities as well, this was very fertile ground for the legacy you left Jo Swinson. I managed to speak to you outside Buckingham Palace in the summer. You were polling only 2% behind the Conservatives, and you mentioned YouGov, Jeff, that was another poll then. 25% the Tories, 23% the Lib Democrats. You had a very successful European parliamentary elections in the summer. Jo Swinson has been a disaster as head of the Liberal Democrats, has she?
No, I don't think that's right. I mean, it isn't.
Given the unpalatable choices you just mentioned in opposition, it should have been incredibly fertile ground, especially given the fact that A, the Liberal Democrats should benefit from tactical voting, and B, they've had a clear, unambiguous strategy over, as Jeff said, the revocation of the Article 50. It just seems it was so much better, it could have been so much better than it is now.
Well, I think, you know, the theoretical potential is there, but the reality is, as I think as Philip Hammond pointed out, we have a voting system that encourages polarisation into the two traditional parties. We can make progress through tactical voting. We will, I think, depending on what happens on Thursday. But it is actually very difficult to make headway, you know, when you have an electorate that is so polarised, and where you have a first-past-the-post system, which prevents us capitalising on our, you know, still significant support in the country.
I know Karen's got several as well, but just there's a very, if I had to be, I mean, I'm not on that side of it. I'm not in communications, but I look at this and I see a very, whether you agree with it or not, a very forthright positive message from the Tories. They will get Brexit done. I see a very forthright positive message from the Labour Party. We will reinvigorate the National Health Service and public spending as well. I only see a negative message from the Liberal Democrats, i.e. we will stop something rather than we will create something.
Well, that simply isn't true. I mean, the message has been we've got to get Brexit done by stopping it, which is very clear, and the better way of doing it is through a referendum. Then you open the way to the rest of our programme, which I think most people find pretty palatable. I mean, we have a sensible approach to economic policy and business. The independent groups who've looked at the policies find it's a sensible alternative to the sort of crude, you know, money grows on trees populism, which is now fashionable on the right and left. I mean, we could be trusted with running the country in a sensible way, and I think a lot of people find that palatable, a combination of social justice and sound economics.
Hi, I'm Joanna Bersecci, and thank you for watching. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more from CNBC International. Thank you for watching.